Going on, guys? Back again, another video. Today we're talking about our draft avoids this year in fantasy football. Let's get into it.
Okay, and our first award for 2026 is Trey Mcbride, and I promise you, this is not a talent thing at all, but he's going way too high in drafts. At an average ADP of 17 on ESPN, over guys like Saquon, Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, Amari Hampton, even Brock Bowers, who I have ranked over him, McBride is going ahead. So I just think this is not a talent thing at all. I think Trey McBride is great, but he's going way too high in drafts, where I really wouldn't be comfortable taking him more towards like that third round area. There should be no reason why he's going ahead of any of these guys in fantasy drafts, and I really do think it's way too high of a spot for him this year.
I mean, with Trey McBride, is that a totally different coaching staff now. Added a couple weapons. Not saying they're going to take a lot of stuff away from Trey McBride, but we're not. I don't think we're going to get that season like we did a season ago, where you had probably one of the best tight end seasons we've ever seen in fantasy football. So I would set my expectations lower, like you said, not taking any talent away from him, but lower expectations based on last season for Trey McBride.
And Carson Beck, he looked really good in the preseason game, so I do think he's definitely going to get a look sometime throughout this year, and that's probably going to be around the fantasy playoffs, which would definitely suck for McBride's value during those times.
Yep.
Yeah, because we know how good Jacoby Brissett is with the receivers and tight ends, like he was last year. He just fed those guys. He had the most pass attempts in the league by far. And if he gets benched, if they go, let's say 0-8, why would they play him again? Why would they start an old guy when they have a good upcoming rookie like Carson Beck?
Okay, and our second avoid is Rashee Rice.
And over the course of Rashi's career, he's dealt with injuries, suspensions, and even jail time. We've seen throughout training camp, he's kind of looked a little slow, struggling, separating against man. But we've seen in the past that Rashee winning versus man just isn't one of his strengths. But my problem here is the price you have to pay to get Rashee in drafts. Similar to what happens with McBride, is he's a high second round pick, but has never put together a full season in fantasy. In 2023, he did, and he finished as wide receiver 27 in his rookie season. In 2024, wide receiver 99, only played 4 games, and wide receiver 40, only played 8 games. He's never put together a full season for us, and is coming off an injury. It'll always be a mystery of Rashee Rice, and we haven't seen him at his full potential. And early round two is way too high of a price for me to pay at a premium position.
Yeah, and I definitely think the Chiefs are going to become more run heavy this season, and he's really relied on volume. He hasn't been that efficient of a receiver, really. He's averaged around 10 yards per catch. So with the volume going down, I definitely do think that he's definitely going to be worse than he was last year, where he averaged around 18 points per game in healthy games. So yeah, in the early second round to the middle second round, I don't really like that value there, and I definitely think there's guys I would like ahead of him there.
I mean, don't
Yeah,
get me wrong. He's definitely gonna play well for you, but how well are we talking about? I have my expectations a lot lower than a lot of people do. Like a lot of rankings, these ADP I think is way too high on Rice, and I would take him more to the back end of the second round, maybe even the third round for me.
yeah. And as you said, John, with how Rice has completed his last 2 seasons in the NFL, he hasn't produced a top 40 season for you. I know the suspensions, but I mean, I want to see a full season out of Rice before I really am that confident on a guy like this that I'm drafting this high.
Okay, and our third player is Jaxson Dart.
So Jaxson Dart is now being drafted as the quarterback 8 in fantasy drafts in 2026, around the 87th overall player. I mean, we know how good Dart can be. I mean, last year he averaged 40.6 rushing yards per game, which is definitely elite on the rushing side. But with new offensive coordinator Matt Nagy, as we see on this graphic, with Patrick Mahomes before Matt Nagy with Eric Bieniemy, he was the average quarterback 3. And then when Nagy took over as the OC in Kansas City, was really subpar in fantasy, finishing as the 10th overall quarterback. And this is not a thing on Dart, as we said before, when both the players before. They're not bad players, it's just bad value. So where Dart is being drafted right now, you can get better receivers, way more valuable running backs and receivers in that range compared to where Dart's being drafted right now.
Yeah, on ESPN, he's going right around like Joe Burrow, and then like great receivers like the values that I like Parker Washington and Brian Thomas Jr. I much rather all those options over Dart. I really do think with Nagy coming in, it's not really anything against Dart. He looked pretty solid last year. I think it's just going to be a terrible scheme, and it also is a big change going from more of that college RPO system last year at Dable, where he really changed it up for him. It's just going to be a big change, and it's going to be hard for Dart to really look good, I think, in it, especially. And I do think they're going to be pretty run heavy this year as well, and also want Dart to run less.
I mean, along with the change in offense, Dart's weapons simply just aren't that good. Yeah, they have neighbors, but practically that's the only guy he can throw the football to. His second best weapon is Isaiah Likely. And Isaiah Likely isn't really a proven tight end. Yes, he's a solid receiving tight end, but we've never seen Isaiah Likely reach his ceiling, and we don't know how good of a player he is. They have no wide receiver two. You could call out Darnell Mooney, say he's a solid wide receiver two. He couldn't catch the football last year. He's on his way out. I mean, they signed Juju and Odell Beckham. They're past their primes. I mean, he doesn't have many options to throw the football to, and that's why you said run heavy. It seems like the Giants will go in that direction in a lot of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dart is one of the best running quarterbacks in the league, as I said, but the passing, it does not. The passing's not elite enough to take him at this range. I mean, and if Neighbors starts low, it drops him off even more. The health of Neighbors matters so much to Dart, and we're really not that confident in Neighbors starting as he does. I feel like he might take a good 5 weeks to really get into this offense and adapt. So.
Yeah, I don't think Neighbors is just going to come back and look like how he did the last 2 seasons. I really do think it's going to take some time to ramp him up. And like you said, yeah, by week 5 is when we could see a real, really good Malik Neighbors. In years past, we saw this Giants team with Saquon Barkley when he was coming off the ACL there. He really didn't look good to around that week 5 timeline. So it definitely is a sticky situation there with Neighbors. And it does suck that Dart will probably start the season slow if he's your QB1. Okay, and our fourth player is Bhayshul Tuten. And with Tuten, a lot of people see the upside saying that he's going to take over this Travis Etienne role, and I really just don't think he will. I mean, there's already been reports coming out of camp. Chris Rodriguez has taken every snap inside of the 10-yard line, basically, and Quentin Allen, who actually this guy is very underrated for this year. He will take every third down snap this year, and he did that last year as well. People don't seem to realize that. So this is going to be a 33-person backfield, a 33% backfield for each player. And I really do think that Tuden's value it's so high for no reason. I mean, yeah, people say it's a great scheme with Liam Cohen, which it is. I'll give you that. But there's going to be 2 other running backs in his backfield, and he's not going to get the touchdowns or the receptions. So he has to really He has to become a way better player than he was last year when his longest run was only 15 yards. And I just don't think he's going to be that good. And I think having him as your RB2 is not a good start to your team at all.
I mean, you nailed it perfectly. But the only thing that people are talking about is just that Liam Cohen run scheme. That's all they say. It's just the Liam Cohen run scheme. But now you bring up the facts, and then it doesn't make any sense. There's guys out there that are going to take a lot of touches away from Bhayshul Tuten. Bhayshul Tuten is an unproven, pretty much rookie. He didn't play much last year. He got a couple snaps inside the goal line, but that was practically it. Travis Etienne had that backfield. It was his show, and I don't think they're going to have all the trust in the world in him. That's why Chris Rodriguez and the Quinn Allen are going to play a lot more than you think.
Okay, and our 5th player is Breece Hall.
And here with Breece Hall, he's one of the more talented running backs in the league, and he's going in the 3rd round of fantasy drafts. The problem I have with Breece is that he's not projected to be out in a very good offense, and Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen still exist in this offense. The coaching staff is very open, trying to make this offense use all 3 backs. I mean, last season, in a way, Breece got lucky that Braylon Allen got hurt because he looked like he was going to take a lot of work away from Breece, especially around the goal line area. And my biggest concern with Breece is he has no touchdown upside at all. He hasn't scored more than 5 rushing touchdowns in a single season because the Jets' offense simply has never been good. It's never been good as Breece Hall's been a Jet. And in round 3, where you're paying too high of a price for Breece Hall when there's better players such as Javonte Williams and Kyron Williams, in my opinion, that I would all be taking over Breece Hall in fantasy drafts.
Yeah, last year before Allen got hurt on week 4, I mean he was the goal line back. Breece didn't have many touches inside of the 5-yard line, so I do think if Allen is healthy for week 1, that definitely will happen again. And Isaiah Davis did come in on 3rd downs. There were many 3rd downs where he came in and played those snaps. So I mean, Breece Hall is not getting the goal line work. He's not going to get those 3rd down lucky receptions or late receptions. So he's gonna rely on breaking off these long runs and being efficient. And we really haven't saw him be an efficient or very efficient back since that 2023 season where he finished as the RB2.
And the 2 things I look at when drafting running backs is, are you in a good offense, and do you get a consistent workload? And I don't think Breece checks any of those boxes at all.
Okay, and our 6th and final player is Jonathon Taylor.
So JT last year, he was generational in those first 12 weeks. As we see, 23.8 points per game with 15 rushing touchdowns. But when Daniel Jones went down, 12.9 fantasy points with only 3 touchdowns. And in his career, Jonathon Taylor, in Colts wins, JT averages over 23 points per game. And when they lose, it's under 15. So not even counting last year, years prior to that, when they lose, he's not as good. And I really don't think the Colts will be even close to what they were last year in those first 10 to 12 weeks. I mean, losing Pittman, Pierce is being out for the first couple weeks. I think that hurts the receiver room so much. The offense is definitely not going to be as good. And JT, his receiving is not even close to what a first round running back really should be like. And he had a career high last year with 46 receptions. And JT is being drafted over a guy like Christian McCaffrey in some leagues right now. When McCaffrey had 102 receptions last year compared to JT's 46 career high. And I just don't think that's even close to what a first round running back really should give you. The upside is not there. You really need the Colts to be over a good playoff team for JT to produce that value. And as we said before, this is JT, one of the best running backs in football. Not a bad player, but just bad value.
Yeah, I think the most underrated, undervalued, or underlooked thing here is that Alec Pierce is hurt and hasn't practiced once this offseason. He is the player for this offense that takes the top off of the defense. Downs, Warren, those guys aren't those players that are going deep and taking the safeties out of the box. So those safeties will be playing down, and the D-line will be cramming the run lane. So I don't think JT will be as efficient as he was last year, but I definitely think with the Jones injury coming back, of course, that's going to help him. And I don't think he'll be as bad as he was to end last year.
I mean, Jonathon Taylor, if the Colts want to be good, has to put this Colts team on his back. If he can do that, he will pay off as a first round pick. But only time will tell, right?
Yeah, I mean JT is 27 years old this year, which he's getting pretty old. So you never know. He came off a 323 carry season last year, so that's the workload. It might go down just a little bit, but we'll see as 2026 goes.
He also just got paid, so the Colts definitely believe in him, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Those were 6 must avoids in drafts in 2026 fantasy football season. We'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you check out all our socials, Instagram, TikTok, especially Twitter. And yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Yes, sir. Thanks for watching. And check out our threads on Twitter. Give you a lot of fantasy advice.